Hey everyone, Blue Sicx here again from bluesixtarot.co.uk, and today we're going to do another weekly forecast for the 4th to the 10th of March. Now, those of you who've been following me on Twitter and Instagram will see the cards. Seen the cards I've been using. These are from the Ramses deck. It's a very enjoyable deck. There you are. Put it in the box there. Definitely worth getting. I'll probably do a review on them sometime in the next few months. I'm going to try and knock down the reviews to one a month, just because time, but I'll still be doing these weekly. So for those of you who've not watched these before, okay, so this will be, try and get that right there. So this will be Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and the weekend. So, let's see what Monday has in store. Let me just remember first. Right. So, starts off with the 7 of coins. Now, it's showing that you've got enough to spread with others. So, you're in a position where you are able to give to others and share in your success. So this could be monetary, obviously, because obviously a lot of people have been paid this week. So this might just be like just helping out, giving someone some help or assistance, giving your time to help out just a few people. Now, not necessarily in the traditional charitable sort of way with donations and stuff, but it's you're giving of yourself for the benefit of others. So you're kind of allowing yourself you're giving out time for others, and you're kind of giving of yourself. So it's not a thing that's kind of forced. It's a thing you're quite comfortable and happy to do. So Wednesday and Thursday, got the 3 of Swords. So I'm just going to have a look at it this way. Now, traditionally, oh no, sorry, is that there? No, that's not the 3. My apologies. That is the Queen of Swords. Oh, now, unfortunately, my Egyptology is it's quite rough at the moment. I can't actually remember who this goddess is, but in the midweek, it's kind of not like a not really reflection, but it's involving someone who's very not isolated, but they're someone who spends a bit of time on their own. She tends to be quite nice, but relatively secluded. She prefers her own time. Now I'm saying she because this being a queen of swords, kings and queens tend to be actual people rather than scenarios and situations. So this is a woman who kind of enjoys her own company, and so it might be a mother who is either divorced or widowed, and so there might be sort of person you want to kind of you're thinking about them. You might want to go and visit them, see how they are, but at the same time it also could be someone who you go to for advice because they've been there, they've seen it all, and you go to them to kind of learn from them as well. So it's kind of like it's a matriarchal kind of card. So as I said, it could be a mother, it could be a grandmother. It could be work based. So it could be someone who's very, as I said, someone who does spend time on their own. So it could be a manager. It could be like a manager in an office. So this is kind of quite loose. But then one of the reasons as to why these sort of things are a bit tricky is because if you're having the one card one cards tend to be aren't very precise, because for the sake of, I mean, for example, one card representing 2 days isn't always representative of those full 2 days. So stuff like that can be a bit tricky. But that's the thing to know for those of you who are still learning. So Friday and the weekend, you've got the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords is more of a card that kind of says like there's a crossroads, duality. That's kind of a way to indicate that there's one of two ways to do something, but that also shows that you can only pick one. There's no compromise. It is either one or the other. So it's going to be a tricky weekend in decision making and going forward, purely because you can't go forward if you don't know what direction you're going to. Now, stuff like that is usually quite tricky to deal with, but it's easy. It's easier to make a decision knowing that there's going to be a decision that's going to be made. So I'd always find this. This is always an awkward card, but it's, if you kind of go into it early, by the time you actually get there, it's easier to make a decision, because 9 times out of 10 when you do a reading for someone, they kind of already know the situation. So it could be a scenario where early in the week it's like, right, I'm doing really well. Oh, I now have to make this choice. Now, those most likely through this week, you know what the choices are going to be, but you've now got a bit of extra time to think about it, because sometimes these choices can come out of nowhere. All of a sudden it's, oh, I didn't know I now had to pick these. Right, I now have to think about which one to pick. So during this week, you may already have, so these cards may already represent what the decisions this card is going to indicate. So to go back, you've got a bit more generosity. There's a bit more generosity going on. Like I said, you're giving of yourself. You're making more time for others than yourself, and you're kind of giving more time to this person as well. But they may have their own decisions, and they may decide that you need to spend more time doing one thing than the other, which is probably this crossroads here. However, you enjoy doing both, so you may have to pick which one is the better option. You might be in a situation where you have to go, right, I enjoy both of these, but I may have to just narrow it down to one of the two. So it's never an easy decision to make. But I said, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Once again, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I shall probably have a review up in about 2 weeks. I'm just starting that out now. I said the only reason it takes 2 weeks is because, unfortunately, I have... it's always tricky doing stuff like this as a starter out on YouTube, just because a lot of the people I follow have been doing this for years, and it's essentially their job. So the only reason a lot of these reviews have now been slowed down and there's not that many anymore, it's just because normal work is kind of slowing me down on this. So anyway, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the reading. If there's anything else you want me to cover in other videos, let me know. At the moment, I'm also working on videos talking about the major arcana. I've already done a video talking about the lovers, link in the description. If there are other cards you'd like me to try and cover, if there's any other cards you want me to cover, let me know. I'll try and cover them. I'll eventually cover them all of the majors at least. But if there's any you want me to cover sooner than later, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section. It's the best place to leave comments. And you enjoy the rest of your week.